Well, kids, I've been monitoring the situation with chronic wasting disease, and I have good news and I have bad news. If you're not familiar with chronic wasting disease, it is a prion disorder that has been found widespread in deer. It's similar to mad cow disease. It's a form of spongiform encephalopathy, and it essentially causes the proteins in the brain to misfold and form plaques, ultimately resulting in dementia and death. There does seem to be a little bit of a misunderstanding of what a prion is. It is not alive, but it is a form of infectious agent. They are contagious proteins. When a protein becomes misfolded, sometimes it has the power to misfold other proteins. In this way, it's acting like a self-replicating molecule, not dissimilar to viruses. It's infecting moose, it's made its way to Europe, it's also impacting elk, and it's spreading around the world, and scientists believe that it's being spread by saliva. Scientists have been working hard around the clock to figure out what genes and what proteins makes different organisms susceptible to it and whether or not it can impact us. In one of the more disconcerting articles that I've read, scientists generated mice with our proteins that could be susceptible to the disease, and those mice became infected with it and developed spongiform encephalopathy dementia. My good news, however, is that cows are resistant to oral transmission of chronic wasting disease. When co-housed with deer and when fed infected brain matter, they did not get the disease. However, cattle are susceptible to chronic wasting disease when injected into their brains. We're not entirely sure why some organisms are resistant to the oral type and susceptible to it anyway. It is important to note that infectious proteins, like any other living organism of replicating molecules, want to replicate themselves, and mutations and tweaks in the protein sequence could make it more infectious and ultimately end up being widespread in us. I haven't read any scientists that have done this work in human brain organoids. I thought the mouse transgenic lines was very creative, and I'm keeping an eye on this. I am hoping that my fear is unfounded, but here we are.